I think Jim Jarmusch is, part of the people why I became an actor, or maybe even why I became interested in movies. When I saw his movies, the first movies, I really felt someone found a language, an artistic language to express what I feel in life, as a teenager, in such a beautiful and poetic way that I just felt drawn to it, and I wanted to participate in that kind of art. Because his movies are art, they're not just entertainment. That's why it's called art house, I guess. And it's independent. And working with him was exactly like that, When you work with Jim, he invites you to participate. He's not coming and saying, this is my film, and this is where you go, and you do this, and you do that, and he's just, hello, let's try and understand what this is. I don't know what this is. Well, do you have an idea what this is, maybe? Do you think, And if you ask him, why is my character saying this? Like, why did you write this? I don't know. I don't know where it came from. It just came to me. And, would you consider playing this? And then you just join him in finding the movie. A little bit like if you would make a student movie. It really reminds me of like how we were making movies when we were 15, and you just try to understand how can we get this movie together. Yeah, so making it, I saw it yesterday for the first time, so seeing it, I finally understood what he was doing. So while you are doing it, you cannot really understand, because you don't know the skateboarders and how the skateboarders are almost like water and they drink water all the time. So all this is his cinema created by the rhythm, like music. So you have the silence and the pause, and then you have the skateboarders. So this you don't know when you work with him on set, but what you do know, there's something in the words specific, like poetry. I don't like talking a lot, so I like silence when I'm acting. I prefer silence. And his words sometimes, to me, seemed like, I was like, oh, do I really have to say this to her? And he was like, yeah, I really think Lilith will say it like that. And then yesterday I saw Tom Waits, and I could see how his words are the same Jim words as my words were Jim words. And you have to say them, because then it's funny.
He was very funny.
Yeah. It is funny because it is written like that. So Jim will write down in the script something like, oh gosh, thank you. And then you say, oh gosh, thank you. And all of it is like a metaphor for everything. The tomato sauce with the cheese is like a metaphor for family too, or how we make things easy. Or anyway, I'm not going to explain the film, but yeah. I think art house cinema is like a silent, peaceful resistance to the world today, because we live in times of war and major confusion and hyper-capitalism, and I think art house movies are like little bubbles of peaceful resistance against it. It is trying to show us you can be silent. It is trying to say you can look inside, and it's trying to say, like this movie, if we don't find a way to communicate, everything will break apart. Families will break apart. Countries will break apart. We need to find ways to communicate as human beings.
Because everything is in commercial way today. So
today it's commercial. There's nothing about communicating. There's just about selling, taking, giving, taking,
It's capitalist world.
Yeah. I feel freedom because it's, I think, what I do, and I think every time I'm acting, I try to do this in my own way. Sometimes I don't have much space to do it, and it's like really small, but I always try doing this. So when I was with Jim or with Paul, it's like, I'm free. I can, because they think like me, and so together we can create. I think it finds me, and I tend to choose it. So, there are movies that I said no to, so you haven't seen them, so we don't know. But I think I say yes to movies where something honest is being shared, because I think life is actually very painful. We don't know what we're doing here, but it is difficult to be alive. It's difficult to fall in love. It's difficult to find love. It's difficult to talk to your children. It's difficult to talk to your parents. It's difficult to be born in a family, be born in a country, be born in a language. All of this sometimes feels very estranged because we don't know how to be. And I think making movies or creating characters is one way of giving back to the audience, you know, of saying, me too. You know, and then when I create a character like Alma or I create a character like Sissi, I can hold this space on screen for all the other women who feel the same. I think working with Paul was very similar to working with Jim, and the reason is because they come from a place of love. You wouldn't tell because, you know, they're men and it's not like written all over, but actually what is inside all of their movies is love for cinema, but also love for the other people, is trying to understand the other people, is trying to understand who we are in this world, you know, and how we come together. So Paul is a poem and Jim is a poem, and they're different kind of poems, but both are about love, you know. How am I seeing in the industry? I can only tell you what people tell me, but some people come to me and they say thank you because they feel that I have taken space in a very superficial business. It can be a very superficial business. And even though I'm inside it, I refuse to bend into the system, you know. And I've done so, I think, in a peaceful way. I try to always come from peace. But I do not agree. I took the liberty of not agreeing. You see what I mean? So I will go somewhere and I will tell people I don't agree. I was in Cannes and I spoke at it was like a audience, and they spoke about my new movie called Love Me Tender. And even though I knew that I'm talking to an audience of mainly people with money, so they are part of the, you know, society, of higher society of money and capitalism, I chose to say, I think this movie is about stepping out of the hamster wheel, because we are all running in the wrong direction. Like, all you guys are doing is, what can I buy next? I need a bigger house, I need a bigger car, what is my other clothes? And if you're honest with yourself, you know you're wrong. You go home and you're sad or tired. You know, it's a machine and I'm against the machine. So I think, in a weird way, in the industry, I've become someone who quietly, you know, it's like I'm doing a Yoko Ono and the John Lennon sit-in. Like I'm sitting in the industry, but just like, you know. Amazing. I mean, I haven't, unfortunately, Tom and Adam didn't come here, so I didn't meet them yet. But they're amazing in the film. It's so funny. I think, I don't know, I don't have a favorite part, but I really, really, really love Tom Waits in the film.
Tom Waits, me too.
Oh, that's so funny and
So
just
funny.
brilliant. I mean, brilliant. Anyway,
Every word is fun.
oh my God, it's just too good. I have goosebumps. It's so good. Anyway, but you know, working with Kate and Charlotte was just a blessing. I didn't leave set. I was always observing the two of them or Jim. All the time. I kept thinking I have to record it with my mind as much as I can forever, you know? Because they're so brilliant people, and they're lovely people, and intelligent people, and good people, and yeah. So it was just, to me it was just a blessing, to tell you the truth. How art house movies is doing, I see it's very difficult, you know, because now if Jim wants to finance a movie, he has to ask Yves Saint Laurent for money. He has to ask, you know, Mubi for support. But Mubi again is in a problem right now because they went to financially sustain their own system again with money, which turned out to be dirty money. But like Jim said yesterday, all corporate money is in a way dirty money, you know. But if you want to create independent movies today, either you are born with millions, or you need to go and ask people for money. And that's a big problem, if you see what I mean. Because we are losing the idea that, you know, the state would give money for art, and because it's the state will give intellectual ideas and positive philosophical ideas more priority than the commercial ones. But it's not happening. So it's becoming very difficult to finance. I also believe that artistically it might be a chance, because people have to become creative. And they have to realize that, okay, if I want to do a movie, I can just do it with less. If I want to do a movie, I can just do it simpler, maybe. You know, Hollywood is in a way breaking apart, and I think there is also a chance in there to rethink. So my next step is the first step I will do into the more commercial world, which is very interesting because it's after Phantom Thread I didn't, and I only did art house, and now I will do a series, but it's also going to be very artistic. I don't want to spoil it because it's so great, but you will see, when you will see what it is, you will understand why I did it, if that makes sense. Even if it's for TV, you know, even if it's a series, you will see that the artistic language and everything is very much about feminist, punk, poetic filmmaking.
So
yeah.
Thank you so much for your time and your beautiful interview. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.